Matt. Guys, welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. It is rifle season here in my home state of North Carolina, and we have been struggling. Deer have they've been moving at weird times. We've been getting deer photos midday, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 12, 1, 2. So they're moving in the middle of the day, and it's just, that's tough to set in there that long whenever you're not seeing a whole lot of deer through the morning. So, and it's trying to transition and, only do one hunt a day and hunt that midday set can be kind of difficult around these parts. But that may be what we have to do. But this morning we're going back into an area where a deer just took off running there, where we have the potential for a good deer to show up. There's a lot of good deer in this area. It's a hardwood ridge, a good place where they want to kind of push some does around and stage up after they've been out feeding all night. So we're going to slide down there, get up in the stand. Dad's not hunting too far from me. Should be able to hear him shoot. If he does shoot, probably a distant shot, but we'll be able to have somewhat of an idea if he does shoot. But it's going to be a good morning. It's about mid-30s, a little bit of a north wind blowing this morning, so these deer should want to get up on their feet and move. We didn't have any shooter bucks on camera last night, which is it's actually a good sign. That means that hopefully they're going to come back through these bait piles not to feed, but come back through the bait piles to basically check these does, because we had a lot of does on all our cameras. So a lot of times they'll come back through and just scent check looking for a hot doe. We very rarely shoot a big deer while he's in a bait pile eating corn. They typically always come in on the downwind side of it, just checking for does. So we're essentially just we're creating a big natural scrape that all deer visit. So we're going to slide down here, get in the woods, and see if we can get it done this morning. Alrighty, it has officially become shooting and filming light. We actually got in here this morning without running any deer off, that's huge, that's a big deal. Yesterday morning we ran a deer off, and then a deer started blowing back behind us. We've got a pretty solid north wind, which a lot of times in the mornings this wind is blowing for whatever reason out of the east. So it's hitting me on my right side, blowing to my left. This morning it's the way it's coming around this ridge behind me, it's actually setting up to be perfect for where these deer would be trying to go to get to their bedding area. So, we're going to be battling the wind this morning. The wind's going to be blowing a little bit. It's also overcast and cloudy. When it's overcast and cloudy, that's usually a good sign. We see a lot of deer here in the south on cloudy, overcast mornings during the rut. So try to stay on our toes, be ready. It can happen fast if they got a doe that they're pushing or chasing or running. It can happen in a couple seconds. Hopefully between me and Dad, one of us will have an opportunity at a good buck this morning. Alrighty guys, it is day 5,497 of deer season 2022. It has been a grind this year. Trying to get a mature buck to daylight has been brutal. We're going over to a spot. I haven't spent a whole lot of time over here. We're going to go check a trail camera and do mainly like an observation set. So keeping our fingers crossed that there's a good deer. It's that time of year for a good deer to start filtering into this area. It is gun season, so this is a perfect stand for a rifle. We've got a lot of bedding on this area, so a lot of the properties that are getting pressured around us, we will absorb some of those deer for the time being while they're getting pressured elsewhere. So it's one of those things where this is a good property to set, and you don't know what deer you're going to see because we've got a lot of property around us, and it just takes the right doe to bring the right buck by. So keeping our fingers crossed. We're going to see if we can get it done this afternoon, guys. Some problems with a neighbor in years past. I think we're still, I guess, apparently having some problems with them because every time we come hunt here, they just crank the tractor up and they just ride it back and forth out through these woods. They want a gunshot. That's a lot bigger of a gun, though. But maybe it'll die down. Maybe it will die down. Hopefully the wind's died and the tractor's put up, so they have done a lot of tractor work over on that property, so hopefully they're used to those people not having a normal day job and not working. Right there's a deer. Just step out. Little spot. That's a good sign. Gosh dog. That's literally right there where that tractor just came from. That's a good sign. Means we got an hour for a bigger deer to show up. Alright guys, we are back here in the same stand again this morning. We are playing a game of just odds and numbers right now. The more time we spend in daylight hours in a given spot, the better chance we have of that deer coming by us in daylight hours. But somehow those odds are against us. We didn't see any deer yesterday afternoon. We had that buck grunting off down in that thick stuff. Which is the same place we had a buck grunting yesterday morning. But they never would come out into this field. So I feel like it's a matter of time before we start seeing some deer activity over here. We've not. This is the hardest we've hunted this place all year. I think we may have hunted this place 2 other times, maybe. before gun season came in. And even when gun season came in, we hunted it maybe once. And then since we've had that good buck show up over here, I've spent a good bit of time these past several days in here, because in years past, what typically happens is if that buck shows up, that buck usually will stay. He'll either stay until after season, or he will stay until he gets shot, typically by somebody else other than us, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. Not quite as cold this morning. Yesterday morning it was 25 air temp, felt like probably 22. This morning it's about 30 degrees, probably feels about 28. Got a little bit of a frost on the ground, so I think that these deer will more than likely want to filter through here when that sun starts to come up. That's exactly when we seen those two spikes yesterday. I mean, almost. I think even on film, the sun wasn't hitting me in the face yet. And as soon as I said, right there's deer, the sun started hitting me in the face. And then after that's when we heard that buck grunting and chasing, so I think they can do it before very easily, but I think coming out into this field, I think they're going to want that frost to start thawing out a little bit, so we're going to try to stay on our toes and try to stay ready. The rut, I don't really know what's going on with it. It's been weird. I've seen a lot of young bucks chasing. Just very little rut activity from older, bigger bucks, so see if we can make it happen. Let's go. John just shot. Oh God, there's a doe. The doe busted me. John just shot though. Right when the sun came up, right like I thought. God, I hope he shot that big deer. There was does in there, there's a good chance. Meh. Meh. And I couldn't get that daggum doe to stop to save my life. She ran back in there a little ways. I'm surprised she didn't drop right there. She was pretty daggum close though. She was all around me. She was like running in circles, acting like she was all confused. You could hear her like bad. She was like grunting almost. She was bleating. She just kept bleating. She had started peeing on her glands pretty good. But she came from behind me where John is. have no idea if I got her on film or not. I think that she was behind a limb, but man, it's been a long couple of weeks right here of trying to get a deer on the ground. And we're running out of doe days here. More than likely we're not going to get this property next year, so we'll try to fill the freezer this morning. And the good thing is, if that doe was hot, then there'll probably be a buck on her. She's liable to come back by me or come by John, one of the two. There's no telling. Shaking like a dang leaf, man. She ran right out that little finger. Golly bum. Oh well. Probably so much for shooting that big deer this morning, but that's just part of it. Well, guys, that footage of that doe wasn't the best. I couldn't get her to stop. There I was. She come down this roadbed, got in behind the stand, come down and looped all the way across all these lanes. And I had her stopped one time right there. And as soon as I got back down on the scope, she just jumped up and she took off running over here into this. And I had a brown limb, or it's got a bunch of leaves on it right there. I don't think I had her in frame all that well. Not real good footage anyways. But she was standing somewhere right here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's good long blood. Goes right out through there. Yeah, look at this. Blood everywhere. Real good blood. That little bit of blood there. She's just blowing a bunch of lungs out. And you gotta love it when those leaves change colors. There she is. Oh yeah. There she is. Good old healthy doe. Good healthy doe. Double lung. Saved a lot of the meat on the shoulders. It's a good shot. She'd make it maybe 30 yards into this. Whew. Well, get her drug up. We can get the four-wheeler to that little section right there. We'll get her loaded up. Meat in the freezer, baby. That's gonna be a good doe to eat too. Perfect, baby. Gonna find John Boy. Alrighty guys, we just got back to the four-wheeler, got that doe drug up. I got John Boy there. John Boy smoked him a 6-pointer this morning. So we're gonna load the old Honda four-wheelers up and go take a look at them. I hadn't seen John 6 yet, but he said he dropped right there where he shot at. So we're gonna putt on in here and get these deer out of here, baby. Alrighty guys, we got us a good doe right here for the crock pot. Beautiful doe. She is just now starting to pee on her glands right there. You can see she's just now starting to do it. And that's what I think's been happening. I think these deer kind of been, they're just waiting it out almost. It's almost like they're not quite there yet to really start rutting hard. And we got John's big old body 6-pointer down here, man. Dropped him right in his tracks. We got both the Hondas loaded up with deer. We're gonna go get us some jerky made out of it. You gotta love it. It was cold this morning. The deer moved. We got lucky. We've been blessed this morning, so we got a little bit of work ahead of us. We gotta obviously get all these deer out. I got a doe on my four-wheeler, buck on John's four-wheeler. So we gotta get out of here and get to cleaning, baby. But it's been a good morning. Don't really know what the footage looks like, but hey, we're in the woods and we got deer loaded down, so it's a good video no matter what. So been blessed, guys. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trying to grow this channel to 100,000 subs, so every click gets me one step closer. It means the absolute world to me. See you guys next time.